In a thrilling Week 1 matchup at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, the New Orleans Saints secured a resounding victory over the Tennessee Titans with their newly acquired quarterback, Derek Carr, at the helm. The Saints defense also stepped up, creating turnovers and putting immense pressure on the Titans offense in Ryan Tannehill. Now, this impressive win not only marked a strong start to the season for the Saints, but also signaled the promise of a dynamic new era here in the Big Easy, led by Derek Carr. Now, the city celebrated the victory, providing a glimpse of what they could be, or they could be in for an exciting season for the Saints. And in this video, I'll be breaking down why I believe this win over the Titans is way more important than everyone may think, but more importantly, why I think this team could shock the world this season and potentially even make a huge playoff run.
Look, I told you last night, okay, that I didn't hope we would win that game. I knew we were going to win that game, all right? And look, it's not always going to be exactly how we want it to go.
That's one game, and we know that game did not have to be close. We all know that game didn't have to be close. So when we come in this week, that's what we're working towards.
Yes, sir.
Second of all, it's hard to win in this league. So we're going to appreciate this win.
Yeah, we got to.
You enjoy it,
Right
get
now.
your mind right, take the time until we come back in, and we're going right back to work.
Now, in a game where it felt like both these teams had to truly earn every single yard and every single big play, the Saints defended their home field and defeated the Tennessee Titans by a score of 16-15. This game meant everything for the New Orleans Saints, who not only were going through a huge change in terms of bringing in former Raider quarterback Derek Carr, but also letting go of Sean Payton and bringing in new head coach Dennis Allen, and finally getting Michael Thomas back healthy, back into the lineup, as well as going through missing their stud running back Alvin Kamara due to suspension for a couple of weeks here. Now, with Alvin Kamara being out and with this offense really coming out here and playing well in Week 1, there were a couple of guys who really stood out in this game. First of all, receiver Chris Olave tallied a 100-plus yard receiving day, and fellow wide receiver Rashid Shaheed had a big touchdown catch as he finished the game with 5 catches for 89 yards and a big touchdown. Now, the offense came alive when they needed to the most. And although Derek Carr wasn't amazing, he was still very productive when he needed to be productive. But he also showcased leadership, determination, and he still has a good zip on the football, which is just something you want to see out of a quarterback you just brought over, from the Raiders. Now, Carr finished his day with 23 of 33 passing, with 305 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and did have 1 interception. Now, like I said, it wasn't a perfect day by any means. And, as Carr had a few throws that were either far off target or, got him in a little bit of trouble, but he also hit some big time shots in this game to a variety of different receivers to secure the Saints a tough win to start the season. Now, the biggest question mark with this offense is the running back situation. Obviously, with Alvin Kamara suspended for 2 more games, the Saints are really trying to rely upon, a guy like Jamal Williams, who got the bulk of the carries versus the Titans, but was extremely underwhelming, averaging only 2.5 yards per carry on 18 touches. With all that being said, I actually really am excited to see what this future holds for the offense if Derek Carr continues to build chemistry and finds a sense of consistency here within this offense. I feel like the sky is the limit for this Saints team in terms of overall production. And once Alvin,
like I said yesterday, Derek Carr.
I like that.
Everybody's down on Derek Carr as if he hasn't had like 4,000-yard passing seasons. As if he always has a top 10 defense. He's never had even a top 19 defense. Now he's got a top 10 defense. The division is there for the taking.
Now, the defense actually had some players really break out in Week 1 as well. But before we jump into the defensive side of the ball, I need you guys to do me a huge favor and smash that like button if you haven't already done so. It helps out the channel so much. So hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. I'm going to be covering the Saints all offseason long. Videos, breaking news, analysis, streams, everything you can think of. I've got you Saints fans covered. And also check out Underdog Fantasy. There's going to be a segment at the end of this video, but if you guys want to put in higher, lower picks with me and do fantasy drafts each week with me, go check out Underdog Fantasy. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. So if you deposit $100, they'll give you another $100 free to use. It is so amazing. Even if you just sign up, deposit, get the free 100, and it is amazing. So go check it out. It just makes playing or watching football so much more fun. So go check it out. But let's get back into our video. Now, the first player who really stood out to me was Carl Granderson. Granderson finished the game with 1.5 sacks, 1 tackle for a loss, 4 quarterback hits, and also had a handful of pressures in this game. And actually, one of them led to a Marshawn Lattimore interception. So that was huge. Carl Granderson is really starting to step up here. He's really making a difference on this defense, and I think he's only going to continue to prove himself over the next few weeks here to start the season. Now, New Orleans held Derrick Henry to just 63 rushing yards, and Ryan Tannehill didn't get above 200 in the air while throwing 3 interceptions. I mean, when your defense can do that, that's how you know the defense is special. That is actually incredible that the quarterback not only doesn't go over 200 passing yards, but also has 3 interceptions thrown and has been sacked 3 times as well with a QBR of 10. I mean, that is absolutely impressive. Now, the defensive line was able to, do anything. They were able to get pressure. The linebackers were great in coverage and in the pass rush, and the secondary stepped up when they needed to make plays. The last guy who really had a noteworthy game, in my opinion, was actually a rookie. Saints first-round draft pick defensive lineman Brian Brees, I believe at Clemson, got a half a sack in his first regular season game in the NFL. He also recorded 2 quarterback hits, but listen, it's only week 1. I don't want to sit here and maybe overreact to, what may have been just a good performance by the Saints. But what I've seen from them, what I witnessed in the first game that they're all truly together was potential. And I think, as they continue to develop, like I said before, as they continue to find consistency within themselves, I think this team actually holds a ton of potential, and they could easily make a big run this season, especially with the division they're in. I think that division is truly up for grabs right now, and I think there are a ton of teams that can come in here and just make a difference. I think Derek Carr played well. I think once Alvin Kamara is back, like I said, their versatility is going to shoot up. When you have Chris Olave and Michael Thomas is amazing. Then you have Shaheed playing like that deep threat. He can also be a scat back as well. So, I mean, they just have so many threats offensively that I, truly do love to see. But then defensively is where they really made a difference and really opened my eyes in terms of DeMario Davis having a great game. Pete Warner had a half a sack. You had, a couple of interceptions. Cameron Jordan getting in on the quarterback. Carl Granderson had, a sack and a half. I mean, these guys just looked really, really good. Marcus May got a pick. Marshawn Lattimore got a pick. Paulson Adebo had a pick. I mean, they looked really, really good, and if they can continue to look this way over the next few weeks, I mean, I will not be surprised for Vegas to really jump up their rankings in terms of making the playoffs. I mean, you have Atlanta, you have Tampa Bay, but I do think New Orleans has the most potential out of those group of teams right now in terms of their quarterback play, their defense, their receivers, their running back. I feel like everywhere you look, I feel like they have the upper hand. So let me know what you guys think. I know it's just week 1. Don't really want to overreact, but let me know what you guys are thinking. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, and if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.